Good afternoon, everyone. Let us start.
Good afternoon, sir.
Remember, we have been learning Chapter 6, Water Resources, of our textbook, India, People and Economy. Last time we started discussion on conservation and management of water resources in India. We started discussion on water recycling, reuse, then steps for the control and the prevention of pollution. So as a part of the water conservation and management technique, today we shall discuss about watershed management. Now I shall share my screen. Watershed management. So this is one of the most important method for conserving and managing water resources. Before we start, tell me, what do you mean by watershed? What is a watershed? What is a watershed?
I don't know, sir.
Okay, any other? You don't remember? We have learned in class 11, okay, in chapter 3, drainage. In class 11, in this India physical environment, in that textbook, okay, you will find a chapter, okay, drainage, chapter 3. And in that chapter we have discussed about the watershed, catchment area, and some other important terms related with the drainage systems. Okay, I will tell you now. See, let us say this is a river, and these are the tributaries. Okay, these are the tributaries, and this river and its tributaries are flowing down the slope of a hill. Okay, and see here, this slope of the mountain or slope of the hill from where the river collects water is known as watershed. Okay, so this entire area where a river and its tributaries drains, or the entire area from which the river and its tributaries collect water is known as watershed. Okay, so another term used is catchment area. Okay, another term is also there, that is catchment area. So here in our textbook, watershed management is one of the most important techniques for conserving and managing water. Okay, so what do you mean by watershed management? Let us read. So watershed management basically refers to efficient management and conservation of surface and groundwater resources. That means watershed management includes conservation of surface water as well as groundwater. Okay, so watershed management involves prevention of runoff and storage and recharge of groundwater through various methods like percolation tanks, recharge wells. Okay, prevention of runoff. See here. So when there is rainfall, okay, Say for example, here when there is rainfall, in an area, so some of the rainwater will be absorbed and some will be running down the slope. Okay, and that running down the slope is known as runoff. Okay, and this watershed management includes prevention of this runoff, okay, by using different techniques. And another techniques also there, that is use of percolation tanks than reservoir wells. Okay, see for the percolation tanks, say for example here, say here on the surface we have to dig tanks. Okay, and or wells also we can use, we can dig wells also, and after that we may put some stones, okay, some boulders here, and here also we may put some sand, stones, boulders, okay, here. And when there is rainfall, then rainwater will be collected here, and this collected rainwater will be shipping down, okay, will be infiltrated and will be recharged in the aquifer. Say for example, this is the underground layer, okay, containing water known as aquifer. Let us say this is aquifer, and so from the pond the water will be infiltrated, and hence in this way the aquifer is recharged. Okay, so we have see here, this is one of the technique. Okay, so we can recharge this rainwater using this abandoned duct well or tube well, or by this method also. Okay, by this method also we can do recharge of the groundwater, okay, after the filtration process. And here actually here we have, so this is these are some photographs, okay, showing percolation tank. So this is one, I think you may be seeing the sand pebbles, then rock fragments putting here in the tank, and when there is rainfall then rainwater will be collected here, and it will be absorbed and will be recharged underground. So this is a line one, concrete, okay, and here this is another one, another example of this percolation tank, and the water is allowed to absorb, okay, infiltrate into the soil. And so this is another one, okay, here digging is done, okay, however rainwater is not collected or absorbed, and this is another example of percolation tank. Okay, water here will be infiltrated downwards and will be recharged in the aquifer. Okay, any question, boys and girls? So the
No, sir.
okay, then the water running down from the watershed, okay, the water running down from the mountain slope or hill slope can be harnessed, can be conserved using this percolation tank and recharge wells, okay, and this will recharge the underground aquifer. And however, see, we have learned that watershed management refers to efficient management and conservation of surface and groundwater resources. Another definition, another broad one, okay, broader one is also given here. In a broad sense, watershed management includes conservation, regeneration, and the judicious use of all resources that is natural, like land, water, plants, animals, and the human within within a watershed. So watershed management means conservation, regeneration, that is restoration of the fragile environment, then judicious use of all resources, that means wise use of all resources, including natural resources and the human resources found within the watershed. Okay, it includes conservation of natural resources like land, water, plants, animals. It also includes these human resources, inhabiting within the watershed. So this is the broader definition of watershed management. And you must know that watershed management aims at bringing about balance between the natural resources on the one hand and the society on the other. And the success of watershed development largely depends upon the community participation. So every conservation process, depends on the community participation for its success. You must know that. Okay, and given below we have some of the programs taken up by the central and the state governments, for conserving this water in the watershed areas, that is watershed management. Okay, let us read. The central and the state government have initiated many watershed development and management programs in the country. Central as well as state governments have started watershed management programs in different parts of India. And some of these are being implemented by the NGOs also, non-governmental organizations. Okay. And so we have some examples like Haryali. So Haryali is a watershed development project sponsored by the central government, which aims at enabling the rural population to conserve water for drinking, irrigation, fisheries, and afforestation. Remember, watershed management include afforestation programs. Okay, plantation of trees is also included in the watershed management. So Haryali is a watershed management project sponsored by the central government, which aims at enabling the villagers to conserve water for drinking, for irrigation, for fisheries, and afforestation. Okay, so this project is being executed by the Gram Panchayats with people's participation. Gram Panchayat, a local self-government. Okay, Gram, meaning village. Gram Panchayat is a local self-government. So this project is implemented by the Gram Panchayat with the people's participation. Remember, people's participation is very, very important in the conservation process. Okay, so next we have Niru Miru. Niru Miru means water in the U. Program in Andhra Pradesh. Okay, and another one, Arbari Pani Sangsad in Alwar district, Rajasthan, have taken up constructions of various water harvesting structures such as percolation tanks, then dugout ponds, also known as johats in Rajasthan, check dams, etc. So this Niru Miru in Andhra Pradesh, then Arbari Pani Sangsad in Rajasthan have taken up construction of various water harvesting structures such as percolation tanks. Percolation tanks we have discussed. Okay, the tank which is allowed to absorb water in the underground. Then dugout ponds, that is johats. It is also constructed in the watershed areas, and the check dams. Okay, now let us see about johats. I think you have learned in class 10 also. Just see here. This is the watershed. Okay, this is the hill slope, and when there is rainfall, then the rainwater will be running down. That is known as runoff. Okay, and so here one bunding is done here. Okay, one embankment embankment is done on 3 sides here. Okay, it is semicircular in this case. Embankment or bunding is done on 3 sides, and this side, one side is left open so that the runoff may collect here. Okay, so when we make a bund here, when we make an embankment here, so we're making a kind of a small dam, okay, a small dam or a big pond, and the runoff will be collected here. And when there is excessive rainfall, then the excess water here we may keep a spillway. Okay, the excessive water may be excess water will be flowing down, okay, through the natural drains or artificial drains, and this excess water can be used in different ways. Okay, can be used in recharging in the underground using these abandoned duck wells or other wells. Okay, here we have the cross section. So this is the Zohat. Okay, here this structure is known as Zohat, and this is the cross section Zohat, and rainwater is flowing down and it is collected here, and this is the embankment. This is the embankment, and here the spillway allows the excess water to flow downwards, and they can be recharged in the well. So, and this from this reservoir, okay, water will be percolating, water will be infiltrating, thus recharging in the aquifer. Okay, so this is the aquifer, a layer containing water. So this is what we call Zohat, and it is practiced mainly in Rajasthan and Haryana area. Okay, and I think we have see here. So this is a photograph showing Zohat, okay, which is used to recharge the underground water. Any question, boys and girls? And about check dams, okay, check dam, you know, when we construct Zohat, I think you may be seeing some kind of barrier. So for example, here this is the cross section, a river is flowing down the slope, and if we construct a small barrier here, a small wall here, okay, and this is what I call check dam, and the water will be stored here. Likewise, if we construct another check dam here, another structure, another small wall here, then this is another check dam, okay, and here water will be collected here. So these are known as check dams. Okay, this is also another method of this watershed management. Okay, and in Tamil Nadu, okay, in Tamil Nadu, say Tamil Nadu has made water harvesting structure in the houses mandatory, okay, compulsory. And no building can be constructed without making structures for water harvesting. Can be punishable by law, okay, in Tamil Nadu. When we construct a house, the house in the construction process, okay, it must include a structure for rainwater harvesting, for storing and collecting rainwater. This is mandatory, compulsory, and they have the legal provision to punish those defaulters. Okay, so these are the different programs implemented by the central government as well as the state governments. However, about the success story, see, watershed development projects in some areas have been successful in rejuvenating environment and economy. In some areas, watershed management program is very successful in restoring the environment and the economy. Okay, however, in some other areas it is not successful. Okay, in majority of cases, this program, watershed management program, is still in its nascent stage. It is in the initial stage, and to have a successful story, there is a need to generate awareness regarding the benefits of watershed development and management among the people in the country. Okay, So we need to give education to the villagers, to the people, about the benefits of watershed management. Only after that it will be a successful one. Okay. And we must educate the people that only through this integrated water resources management approach, water availability can be ensured on sustainable basis. That means when we implement watershed management program, then there will be sustainability of water resources. There will be continuity in the supply of water. So this is about watershed management. Any question, boys and girls? Are you clear?
Yes.
Boys? Okay, then next we have a case study of watershed management. Okay, here in the next page. So let us read this case study. This is a case study about watershed development in Ralegan, Siddhi, Ahmednagar, Maharashtra. Okay, so here in this area, the watershed management program is successful. Okay, so Ralegan Siddhi is a small village in the district of Ahmednagar, Maharashtra. So it's a small village in the district of Ahmednagar in Maharashtra. Here let us have, so this is the map showing location of this Ralegan Siddhi. Here Maharashtra state is here. Okay, so here Maharashtra state here, and this is Ahmednagar district in Maharashtra state, and here in this area, okay, here this green dot represents Ralegan Siddhi. Okay, location of Ralegan Siddhi. So it has become an example of watershed development throughout the country. The story of Ralegan Siddhi has become an example of watershed development throughout the country. So in 1975, this village was caught in a wave of poverty and illicit liquid trade. So this was the problem before the implementation of the watershed management program. Okay, in 1975, the village was caught in the web of poverty and the illicit liquid trade, trading of liquor, okay, wines and others. The transformation took place when a retired army personnel settled down in the village and took up the task of watershed development. So there was a lot of problem, but the transformation took place when a retired army personnel settled down in the village and took up the task of watershed development program. So he convinced the villagers about the importance of family planning and voluntary labor, preventing open grazing, felling trees, and liquor prohibition. So he educated the villagers. He gave awareness to the villagers about the importance of family planning to control the population, then voluntary labor, okay, then preventing open grazing by the animals, then preventing cutting down of trees, and prohibition of this liquid trade. So the work began with the percolation tank constructed in the village. So about the management, watershed management program, the work began with the percolation tank constructed in the village. And in 1975, the tank could not hold water, and the embankment wall also leaked. Okay, so people voluntarily repaired the embankment. The 7 wells below it swelled with water in summer for the first time in the living memory of the people. So first of all, they constructed a percolation tank, okay, and in 1975 the tank could not hold water. Means the size may be small, and at the same time the embankment, okay, the bunds around the tank leak, but people voluntarily repaired the embankment, and after that, okay, the tanks and in the village were full of water, okay, in summer also for the first time in their life. So another steps is that a youth group called Tarun Mandal was formed, okay, by this retired army personnel. A youth group called Tarun Mandal was formed. The group worked to ban open grazing. Okay, this youth group called Tarun Mandal ban open grazing with a new emphasis on stall feeding. Open grazing, we are grazing the animals while just here. Just here, let us say this is the grazing ground, okay, and if we allow our animals to graze anywhere, that is known as open grazing. So open grazing was banned. What to do? Then we have to do controlled grazing. So this is the grazing ground. So we have to do fencing. Okay, maybe using bamboos or barbed wires. So we can make different compartments. Okay, different sections we can make. So here, in the first compartment, okay, we can graze the animals for 2-3 days or 1 week, and when this section is completely eaten, okay, then we can shift to the next compartment or to the next section. So in this way we can control the grazing of the animals. This is what we call controlled grazing. Okay, it is to be done. And but in this area in Ralegan city, instead of this open grazing, stall feeding was done. Stall feeding, feeding in the cow shed, okay, was encouraged, and the cultivation of water intensive crops like sugarcane was banned, and instead crops such as pulses, oilseeds, certain cash crops with low water requirements were encouraged. So instead of growing water intensive crops like sugarcane, so they encourage growing of these crops like pulses, oilseeds, and certain cash crops which require less water. Okay, cash crop, the crop which is mainly for sale, not a food crop. And so people volunteered to help each other in the agricultural operation. So there was cooperation among the people in the agricultural operation, okay, and because of that, at present water is adequate, agriculture is flourishing through the use of though the use of fertilizers and the pesticide is very high. So now in Ralegan city there is adequate water, okay, then agriculture is flourishing, though there is high use of these fertilizers and the pesticide. So this is the success story of watershed management program in Ralegan city. And here in our book we have some photographs, okay, Ralegan city before the mitigation approach. So the environment was fragile, okay, see here, the environment was fragile, no trees, okay, land was dry. So before the implementation of the watershed management program, so this is the picture, and this picture shows after the implementation of the watershed management program, that is Ralegan city after mitigation approach. So we have some more photographs. Just see here. This photograph shows this community involvement in the watershed management programs. Okay, all the villagers are working together. Okay, in the watershed management process, and so this is one of the percolation tank or pond, okay, used for recharging this groundwater, or maybe used for irrigating other agricultural areas, okay, in the Ralegan city area. And so this is another percolation tank, okay, used for recharging groundwater in Ralegan city. And here this is about flourishing agriculture, okay, Ralegan city after the implementation of the watershed management program. Okay, and one more thing actually I have to tell is that here this is a photograph, okay, showing watershed management in Uttarakhand state. What do you see in this photograph? What do you see in this photograph? Just see here. I think you may be seeing the circular, okay, circular holes here. I think here holes. These are the holes, okay, and these are the holes. See here. So this is a traditional system practice in Uttarakhand. So you are seeing these circular pits or holes on the slopes of the hills, and these circular holes will store the rainwater and will allow to slowly percolate in to the drain line, where it will be stored in a pond. Okay, see here we have a johat here, we have a pond here for storing the rainwater, and from this pond again the water will be shipping downwards to recharge. So this is a technique of watershed management in Uttarakhand. Okay. Are you clear, boys and girls? Any question?
No, sir.
Okay, then let us stop here for today. Thank you very much for joining my class. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
My